Hytale is getting legal as development marches onwards. So in this video, let's break down all the news we've had about the game this past week from the team themselves, including an update to their website and even a poll about the new in-game features that I am not particularly happy about. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're new. We're almost at 50,000 subscribers, and you can bet we're playing Hytale as soon as it drops. Welcome back to Kweebec Corner. My name is Connor, and today on Hytale News Updates, we discuss everything you need to know about the new Hytale governance webpage, lawyers and legal team updates, and a secret Q&A from Noxy himself. Speaking of, amongst other news, Noxy's devilish poll on Twitter is also something I want to address. In fact, this whole weird burning Kweebecs phase the community is going through, it's only getting worse. Seriously, you and me? We need to sit down and talk. This video is sponsored by ServerPro. ServerPro now offer virtual private servers that have the strength, storage, and speed to host some of your favorite games. Minecraft, Terraria, Counter-Strike, Rust, and Factorio, all with one-click installers. There's even comms software like TeamSpeak. Each VPS runs on the latest version of Ubuntu and comes with a root secure shell. You can get the High 2v Core or Ultra 4v Core package by heading to the link in the description below and clicking the VPS tab. Back to the video. So, Kweebecs, they're one of the most iconic mobs in Hytale. They're small, they're cute, they live in Zone 1, and unfortunately, they're made from wood. Now, despite Kweebecs being the mascot of this channel, even if they weren't, personally, I wouldn't want to burn these guys. But for some reason, ever since way back in 2019, the obsession with lighting Kweebecs on fire has only grown and grown. Initially beginning with a few memes here and there, and now fully evolved into a militaristic war between multiple opposing factions, sponsored even by the likes of team members working on the game itself. This is not okay. I honestly thought better of you guys. Wait, what am I talking about? This is the internet. Look, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. I mean, you think you're gonna try burn us Kweebecs, and we're not just gonna run for the trees and remove any chance you have of wood in your world? How are you gonna craft sticks with the forest on fire, genius? Where's the logic? Anyway, in light of recent disputes, Polina, the 3D and VFX artist for Hytale, decides to ping Rodan, the level designer, about sounds, only to find him fireballing trees to cut them down. Then, Polina said she... What am I reading right now? Tried to decimate a Kweebec village? How could you? Luckily, it seems they have some sort of behavior causing them to run and hide, which makes me really thankful. At least those little guys survived. Noxy, of course, supplemented this screenshot by saying Polina is confirmed for the Burn Kweebecs team. In brackets, pointing out that that is evil, by the way, just wanted to note that. Also, a bit of a tangent, this strange bunny caterpillar thing holding a gun. I'm assuming it's a new mob? That's cool. But that's besides the point, I'm not getting distracted here, okay? Suddenly, everyone began to show their true colors in the replies. Buddha clearly worried for his colleagues when sound designer Kieran commented if a Kweebec burns in a forest and nobody is there to hear it, does it still make a sound? Well, I say, Kieran, that you go back to making cool atmosphere and Foley effects. I do not want a Kweebec_pain_squeal.mp3 in my game files, mister. Regardless of my repeated protest, Jayface, a resident of our community, decided to pop the question to Noxy that we've all been pondering and daring to ask. Will you be able to burn the Kweebecs in Hytale? And rather than doing the, just honorable and completely correct thing, which is to completely deny that feature and abolish any damage hitbox from Kweebec mobs entirely from the game, Noxy instead opted to poll as to whether the code should be in the game, like a methodical mastermind. Anything for the sales, her Noxy, I see how it is. With a resounding 63.4%, the meme communities of the internet voted yes for burning Kweebecs. I cry. Of course, Noxy does reserve the right to ignore poll results if it ends up with the game getting an 18+ rating. Something they're clearly not going for, so there's a chance. Albeit there are plenty of lesser rated games with the odd bit of violence or arson. Look, I'm not arguing the other side here, I'm just saying. Kweebec lovers and Kweebec protectors, you best be on your guard. You were clearly all asleep during this vote. I don't know where you were, as the millions of votes that no should have received seem to be completely missing. Josh said that the Kweebecs should be burnable, but like it. Like, a lot. Unfortunately, Noxy says full terror or nothing. Wow. That's stone cold. In the Littlewood commented that they should have a sophisticated enough AI to try and put themselves out by running into water. I say give them 100% fire resistance and let's just be done with this debate, shall we? I mean, look, it's not all doom and gloom. Noxy did validate how Kweebs could be resistant. Some wood is fireproof after all. I may have also slightly chuckled at this meme Canadian posted. Kweebecs once Hytale releases beta. In other news, from here, things get a little legal. For a new website page has been found at hytale.com/corporate governance. Now, if you're like me, when I read this phrase, you're probably wondering what it means. And while it is pretty self-explanatory when you break it down, the rules that govern a particular company or corporation allow me to add some context. Every company has accountability. Someone needs to be in charge of making decisions, be liable if things go wrong. Corporate governance is the set of rules or practices by which a company is directed and controlled, and therefore helps to identify who has power at Hypixel Studios, and highlights how they operate in regards to tax law. On the website page specifically, they verified that they
pay the correct amount of tax and that any matters are escalated to company directors. Clarifying also that their finance team is made up of qualified external tax lawyers and advisors, and that they are professional and familiar with tax laws and consequences of filing incorrectly. There is assurance that any tax planning will serve a business purpose and will have commercial and economic substance. They acknowledge the risk of tax law and they will seek advice in the case of complications. Finally, they confirm that they engage with tax authorities, including HMRC,
with full honesty and integrity, with the date marked year-end 31st December 2021. Now, I know it's a pretty big deal to have something like this set up for your company, but whether it's law to have a web page about it, I actually don't know, which is why I'm reporting on this anyway. Following this, a new role actually appeared on the job list page of the website, advertising for the position of General Counsel. They say they're looking to establish their legal team, specifically someone to help build legal function and put legal and compliance processes in place from the ground up. They will report directly to the CEO whilst advising directors on high-level strategic decisions. This means they need to be an expert in intellectual property, copyrights, privacy, child safety, and protection, as well as writing user agreements, trademarks, and corporate law. One of the most interesting points in the job description, I think, is that they say the person must observe areas of risk from a creator-friendly viewpoint with regard to IP and user-generated content, which I can only assume refers to servers, but may also allude to other ways to monetize as a creator, similar to the platform Roblox, which has a UGC, otherwise known as User-Generated Catalog of items and clothing objects. There's also a lot of emphasis on child protection measures, and there's even a line about international licensing agreements. Hopefully those things are what saved the Kweebecs from burning here. On the front line, however, back to that 1 minute of footage we received this past Friday, there were a few things we missed during the analysis. Also, I think the version you're seeing now is actually a bit higher quality. My bad there, I just downloaded the Twitter video. Many, of course, including Hytale News and Legacy Gaming, spotted these twisting doorknobs as the door opens. Also, where I said there was a glowing lantern, this actually appears to be some kind of glowing potion. Maybe this is something that lets you shine in the dark. Either way, you can set it down to add an emissive effect. Speaking of Noxy, he also made an appearance in a special developer student Discord group where he took various questions about the industry. There wasn't anything of interest discussed in regards to actual content of the game, but it was mentioned that at this point, Hypixel Studios have spent, and I quote, tens of millions on Hytale's development. Those of you that have been subbed for a while know that they received a roughly $7 million initial sum from Riot Games, so hearing this is certainly positive. This also reminds me of a Q&A Noxy did in a Discord way back in the day that I don't think many people have seen or won't remember. After all, I probably only had about 3,000 subscribers when this info first came to light. He shared a variety of things about areas of the game, specifics about their aims for low-end PC specs, his opinions of free-to-play and pay-to-play, some insights into lore, and even a hint at water mechanics, specifically being able to float on the surface before choosing to descend. Also, I mentioned it last video, but if you weren't aware, I have a Twitch account, twitch.tv/Kweebec Corner, where I've started streaming Minecraft and a whole bunch of fun stuff, so make sure to follow there. Shameless plug out of the way, moving on. Last but not least, in today's news, more on testing. While this is pure speculation and the game being referred to in this post is completely unknown, it does pose some interesting ideas. Retweeted by Hytale technical designer Amber, this post from Katie Kyronis advertised a combat mechanics designer job for an untitled Riot game that is currently in development. They're looking for experience in player kits, hit feel, and combat-centric content in games. R&D actually stands for research and development, and while this is probably, in fact very likely isn't Hytale, as pointed out by Kodiak from Legacy Gaming's more like Riot's upcoming MMO recently teased, it is interesting to speculate on how Hytale may reach out for private testers of their game. Combat is something that you have to get right after all, and maybe there are posts around the internet looking for people that we have no idea about, simply because they may have just never even mentioned that it was for Hytale. Huh. And that's all that we have time for this week. Honestly, I hope to see more Kweebec defenders, more people dousing the flames of evil. And while there's still lots of Hytale fan art being posted, I'd like to save up a decent batch so that we can cover them all at once next time. I will, however, take the time to showcase Ekotan's new custom Hytale mouse mat, as well as Thomas Frick and Noxy's new LEGO Hytale mob sets, gifted to them by a team member John Hendricks and inspired by a fan builder Happy Lima on Twitter. Very cool to see the High Force in action. If you want to get to know people around the community better, then you can become a part of the Kweebec Corner Discord server with over 3,000 Hytale enthusiasts involved and chatting there every day. Just click the link in the description. Continue smiling, thanks for liking, subscribing, and thank you as always for watching Kweebec Corner. Stay safe and keep free.